So do you remember the last time you totally felt amazed by something new or exciting? Maybe it's been a while. It's not just grown-ups feeling it, our kids are too. It can leave them feeling uninterested or disconnected, or at least seeming so, and parents struggling to keep them engaged. So how do you help them? Raising Awe Seekers, How the Science of Wonder Helps Our Kids Thrive is a new book that helps answer that question. Its author is child development expert Deborah Farmer Kris, and she joins us now. Welcome, Deborah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you.
We have been talking about this book all morning long and how to get our kids and ourselves engaged. So you say there's actual science behind how awe can change us.
Yes, so awe is an emotion. It's that thing that when you get the goosebumps, your eyes fill with tears, or you just say, wow. And it turns out that this emotion has a cascade of benefits, from improving mental health and wellness to inspiring curiosity, but they have found even that experiencing this in nature, in music, doing art, actually can reduce the biomarkers of inflammation in our body for young kids and for seniors. So this is not an emotion to ignore.
I sort of feel like I sometimes get accused by people of my age of being awed by everything. Somebody once wrote on my social media, no one can be this like awed every time. But I sort of feel like I've never given that up, going back to my childhood, and we have a 2.5-year-old. And I feel like we're trying to at least I am trying to pass that awe onto her. How much do parents play a role in getting their children to be awed by stuff?
A huge role.
Yeah.
Because I think what we do is we help. Not necessarily, you can't make a child feel anything, but you can put them on the path. That's why I call it awe seekers. And I think for this age, because 2.5 is so magical.
It really is.
Everything is awe-inspiring because awe is when you encounter something new and wondrous, and everything's new for a little one.
Yeah.
So as parents at this age, part of the task is to slow down. And maybe they are fascinated by the anthill or the pigeons flying overhead that you find to be a pest, but they find amazing. And to tune into what they're tuning into, so as they get older, they see that you are still amazed by things. You know, my kids will be saying, you know, Mom, come look at the sunset, because they know I want to see it, because they know that, a little bit like you, I'm an awe junkie. I love anything that makes me feel those goosebumps.
So I actually saw this in practice yesterday. I took my kids to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. No, the Chicago Botanic Garden is where we got married. The Brooklyn Botanic Garden is where we went. And these are my kids running around. You can see it right there on the screen. And then my daughter was just like smelling a flower. And she was like, it's so beautiful. And I just was so amazed at like how it slowed them down. What are the long-term effects or the ways that inspiring awe in kids can help them in other ways?
So the great thing about awe is almost anything you want for your kids, awe supports it. So we know that there's a link even with academic engagement, because awe inspires curiosity. So people who feel curious, they're primed to remember things. It's why 4-year-olds know all of the dinosaur names, because they're inspired by the T-Rex at the Natural History Museum, where I took my son yesterday for the first time. And you look at that and you want to know and you remember it. It helps us be more connected to our community and to other people, because one of the main sources of awe is actually the kindness of other people. It's when people are being kind and brave, you get those goosebumps.
So can you walk us through a quick awe-building exercise?
Sure. So a great thing about awe is that it forces you to slow down and tune into your senses. So I keep an awe journal, 1 or 2 sentences a day, and I try to think through something I saw or heard or smelled, like your daughter with the flower, that gave me that feeling. So if you don't mind, think in the last week or so something you saw that gave you those goosebumps or that wow moment.
It had to be yesterday. I walked into this garden and I was like overwhelmed with how beautiful it was. It was like bucolic, it was serene, and I couldn't believe that it was so close to me all this time, and I'd never been. So I'd have to say going to this botanic garden.
I think that, you know, for me, in addition to my daughter and my family, I often walk home and I play music. I have a playlist on my Spotify called Vlad 1969 to the present, and it's all the music from all the decades of my life. And sometimes I play that just to feel like I did when I was 5 or 6 when I first heard that music.
Oh, I love that. And don't underestimate for your teenagers the importance of music for helping them tap into that feeling and emotion and those playlists.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
Great advice.
Deborah Farmer Kris, thank you very much. This is great.